Hi, this is Tim, the painter, and you may not think that painting is a heavy-duty job compared to installation or plumbing, but painting and color scheme go a long way into designing a kitchen. So why don't you explain before and after what this kitchen looked like and how you used it to accentuate all the other furniture here?
Sure. This kitchen was wallpapered originally, so the wallpaper needed to come down. And then the walls prepped with sealer to seal in the glue. And then patched. There's usually a lot of patching to do when there's wallpaper removed, and a lot of people are removing their wallpaper now because it's a little out of style. And then choosing a color. So we usually will do color samples for the customer. You can get small jars of cans or jars of colors and do samples so they can approve it. And I do help with picking colors sometimes, and Carol also does that in the early stages. This, for example, was blue and dark. They didn't want it to be so dark anymore, so we carried the color, lighter color from out there into this room to lighten it up. And ceilings are usually a flat white, a ceiling white to brighten things up.
And so you mentioned like a flat white, and so what is the difference between, say, a flat paint and something with more of a sheen to it?
Well, the stuff with the sheen is usually more washable, but now paints, just the higher quality in the acrylics and the paints, that they are, even the flats or the mattes are washable depending on the quality of the paint. So it's just, actually it's preference. If you like to have a sheen, have some reflection, or if you like it to be just less reflection. This here is a matte finish, so there's not a lot of sheen to it. With big walls and bright color and bright lights, you want to have a lower sheen paint. So they went with a matte in here, but it is washable.
And you mentioned they wanted to brighten this up, and so are lighter colors more in style now, or is it just a preference for the homeowner?
It's really a preference, yeah, and just what the backsplash is, the countertops, or the color of the cabinets, and so we do the whole spectrum of colors still. It's really people's preference is what we like to go with to allow them to do what they want to do.
Now, one of the adjustments with this wall is over in this alcove behind us here. That has a little more of a gold color scheme with the white wall, or?
Yeah, that was wallpapered up there, and they really struggled with what to do to make it a dark, rich color, or brown to go with the cabinets, and we just decided to go with a darker version of the walls just to accentuate it. So there's you can do accent walls, and we always take everything into account, the countertops that is in the kitchen for the wall color. 'Cause the wall color is in these tops here. There's little flecks of the yellow in there, so that's why we went with that color in here.
And color scheme's really important too. I mean, not just with painting, but with television and a lot of different things. Color combinations go a long way into determining how a room's appearance.
Yep, and a lot of people they're watching the cable shows and they're educating themselves, and they're a little more daring because they see what people are doing on a lot of the cable shows with their colors. So it makes it a little more challenging because people are really pushing for that perfect color, but that's what we strive for. So.
Well, I'd say you hit the nail with the color here.
All right, thank you.
Hi again, I'm here with Todd the tiler. Now, if you hear the word tiler, you might think of tiling the floor, and while he certainly does that, he also tiled this wall. So why don't you explain what you did for this backsplash here?
We used a tumbled marble with a mosaic border. This is a metallic Listel, and this is also a tumble, but it's a 1x2 brick pattern. And a lot of times Carol and I will consult with the customer what they want. Carol usually comes up with a lot of different ideas, and then sometimes we'll hone them as far as what will work in the given space. A lot of times you have to work with what space you're given. Sometimes we're working with an existing granite or quartz backsplash, a 4-inch splash. Most of the times we're not if we're starting with a kitchen from scratch. And then we have to work around the outlet covers and the like. And then like here we had two different featured areas with this metallic Listel as well as the mosaic border. So you try to balance things and get them to look good aesthetically after you're done.
Right, and you mentioned there's 4 different surfaces that went into all of this, and so how do you make sure it blends all together and doesn't overlap or create any aesthetic issues?
Well, a lot of it's just the eye, and I leave a lot of that to Carol. And then a lot of times when you get on the job, you may tweak the design based on the exact dimensions or what it looks like on the job. You know, in this situation, this is very similar height to a typical splash of about 3 to 4 inches, so it gave us that feel, but it allowed us to keep the outlets away from both decorative aspects and not interrupt that pattern going through, which is the most pleasing look if you can work with that. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes we'll drop in glass decos, and again, we'll work around placing them between the outlets rather than having a deco end up behind or under one of the outlet covers.
Now, and what was here before you put in this tiling backsplash here?
When I got here, it was just the sheetrock. So I don't know if there was wallpaper or if there was existing tile before. Sometimes there's existing tile, and you have to do a little patch work to get the substrate suitable. But as long as it's sound sheetrock, that's usually what we go over the top of.
And then you mentioned this is, of course, wall tiling, so perhaps differences in how you handle a wall tiling versus floor tiling?
Yeah, in this situation, this is, you know, a backsplash is probably about 75% decorative. It does provide some protection of the wall from water, or if you've got a cooktop from that, but most of it is decorative. In this situation, we're using a stone. Something like this you probably wouldn't use on a floor. This could be used on a floor. It's a tumbled stone. It would work just fine. And again, these Listels are also just for wall work. So you're looking at more decorative in this situation, whereas a floor, your main concern is function. Is it going to hold up in a given area? Is it going to work for that particular area? A bathroom, of course, you're going to treat differently than maybe a mudroom, where it's going to get more heavy-duty service.
Definitely be looking forward to more of your tiling projects as you design more kitchens.
Thanks.
Hi again, I'm here with Jim, the owner of Kitchens of Stillwater, and he's been the owner since day one, so he's seen many kitchens designed over his years. And what is it about this one that helps stand out?
Well, this is a kitchen that we did just about 3-4 months ago, and they had a kitchen that was pretty nice to start with, but it had some real finish problems, and so they decided to sort of redo the whole thing with new maple cabinets. Like Jeff said, the layout stayed pretty similar to what it was before, but we added quite a few amenities that they didn't have before, such as full width roll-out trays. Their cabinets before just had regular shelves in there, so whatever they had, they couldn't find it very well. But roll-out trays makes it pretty accessible as far as what's in there. We have a Super Susan type of corner cabinet. I think they had just a regular cabinet with just a shelf, so anything that was way back in that corner, they had a hard time getting to it. So this type of thing works really well, and we pretty much, if you have a corner situation, we try to put one of these Super Susans in there just to make it more accessible. Some of the other things that we did and they didn't have before was like a double wastebasket. I think they just had a wastebasket sitting over by the wall that they threw their garbage in, but this one has one for recycling, one for garbage, and with a drawer up on top, and you can keep your garbage bags and those kind of things in that if you want to. The other feature that they didn't have before that we have in this kitchen is it's called the self-closed drawer glide system. So the drawer pulls out all the way. It's a 3/4 dovetailed maple drawer box, but the glides are really nice in the sense that it pulls out all the way so you can see everything that's in the drawer, and then also has a soft close motion, so it gets to a certain point and slowly sucks itself in, so all the drawers stay closed all the time. The hinges also have that same feature, so they keep themselves closed. The warranty is really quite good. This is a brand of cabinets called Showplace Wood Products. It's an employee-owned company out of Sioux Falls, and they have a lifetime warranty on the drawer box, the drawer glides, and the hinges, and then a 5-year warranty on everything else. So it's a nicely made cabinet. We've sold these guys for probably about 8 or 9 years now, and it's just a well-made cabinet.
And so how long does it take from start to finish? Like you mentioned with this one, it was more getting the finishes in there, but on average, how long does it take to remodel a kitchen?
Well, typically, I guess if you sort of start at the beginning, a client might come into our store and meet with Carol or Shanda today, for example, and kind of try to find out what we do. And we'll come out to the job site after that initial conversation and find out, what their kitchen's like, what they don't like about it, what they do like about it, and then after quite a few designs, and we tweaked the design a couple of times, we would order the cabinets. The cabinets take anywhere from 6 to 7 weeks to get. And so while those cabinets are being manufactured, you can select on the countertops and the sink type and the appliances and those kind of things. And then once the cabinets arrive, that's when kind of the job can start. We can tear out the kitchen on a Monday and have the new cabinets installed by that following Friday, and then the countertop gets measured. But to answer the original question, it probably takes about 5 weeks to get a kitchen done, from tear out to completion.
This inclusion of yours is, I think, one reason why this kitchen turned out the way it did.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm here with Shanda, one of the primary designers at Kitchens of Stillwater. Now, with this kitchen in particular, there's a lot of things that went into it. So what are some of the specifics?
Well, with each client, you focus on what they are looking to accomplish in the kitchen. For example, this client was looking for dual ovens along with a microwave to help with their family gatherings and help with their cooking along with their cooktop. Here, they have a 5-burner cooktop, which also helps along with their cooking. So the appliances was a major factor in their design.
Right, and the nice thing about that island is that you can cook and then move right to the table.
Exactly.
Right
This
away.
is a great, nice island, great for serving family-style buffet. Plenty of room so they can gather around and then seat in the formal dining.
And we got some snacks over there. We should bring it over here to,
Yes.
to show off. But you mentioned the client was looking for an island, 2 ovens, and so explain, perhaps maybe in general, when you go into a before and an after session with your clients, how do you accommodate what they're looking for?
Every client is unique, and you also have to look at the space that they have, whether you're going to be working within the space or if you possibly are going to be taking down a wall and expanding the space to work within. So you're looking at those characteristics and some of the details that they are interested in. For example, this one has the tile backsplash.
Right, and a lot of folks have been talking about that today. And you mentioned that every client is unique. So when someone walks in and says, I want to remodel my kitchen or bathroom, where do you start and how does the plan develop from drawing board to finished product?
Well, with my background in interior design, I take that into consideration with what the client is, the ultimate goal that they're trying to accomplish, and we work together to complete the design. So again, we take a look at their wall space and the layout that they have of the original kitchen. For example, the sink right now is in front of the window. In most kitchens, you would keep the sink there. Not too many people want to relocate that, so that's a good starting point, and then we determine where everything else would be placed.
Thanks for sharing your tips with us, and this was a fabulous kitchen and a great one to put your name on, or for everyone who was involved.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for stopping by. Now we're going to have a lot more projects to come in the future, so stay tuned. You won't want to miss them. Until next time, so long.